It is Gulfstream today. Good afternoon. Ron Nicoletti, joined by my buddy Katie Stazak, who was missing for a few days. Glad to have you back, Katie.
Thanks, Ron. I was actually getting back in the saddle myself, competing up in a horse show up in Wellington. A whole lot of fun, but glad to be back here at the races.
You missed all the rain. Today we have a really nice day, but we're going to start that day with a good main, this day with a good main track and a good turf course. Lots of carryovers today. If that's your soup du jour, this is the place to be. We got a carryover in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 5, $25,000 plus in that pool. You see just about $26,000. Now, Katie, we also have a carryover in the pick 5. You see it $20,000, about $21,000. When we have a carryover in the pick 5, this thing is going to skyrocket. I bet you it's over $100,000 today. The pick 5 always takes a lot of money when you got that nice seeding in the beginning. Not to be done, we also have a carryover today in the Super High 5, $3,200 plus. So lots of fun wagering today. And as I mentioned, we're back on the turf. We were off the grass yesterday. Good main track, good turf course. You know, Katie, before we look at this stuff and get into it, let's see what's out there in Twitterland.
Twitterland it is. We're going to go off to there, and some pretty exciting news in racing over the past few days. Empire Maker is going to be coming back to the United States. What a tremendous sire he has been. He was sent off overseas, now coming back. Just some of the horses he sired there. Pioneer of the Nile, the sire of Triple Crown winner American Pharoah, and Bodemeister, two very nice horses. I was never a huge fan of Empire Maker growing up because I loved Funnyside so much, and he spoiled his Triple Crown bid. But now that I've gotten a little bit older, I do have a great appreciation because he was a lovely, lovely horse.
Well, it can only help the breeding industry here in the United States. A horse that's looking to be off the trail for a while, and is Texas Red, injured and going to be off for a while.
Looks like we're switching up the tweets a little bit, keeping us on our toes. We got a big day coming up tomorrow at our sister track at Laurel. Force the Pass, who ran so well here. Really, we knew he was going to be a good horse when he ran here at Gulfstream. Force the Pass, won a stake here, broke his maiden here, went on to win the Grade 1 Belmont Invitational. He's going to be at our sister track tomorrow, as well as another couple of great horses. They're going to have the Commonwealth Cup, which used to be, I believe, at Colonial Downs, now going to be at Laurel, so exciting day for them. Yeah,
very impressive when he won that Grade 1 Belmont Invitational, you know, a Grade 1 event. Really nice horses in that race. Now we'll get to the other tweet that we wanted to talk about. It's about Texas Red, and Texas Red, this is yesterday's tweet, so they do not have the tweets done right today. So Texas Red not going to be running.
No, he's injured himself, unfortunately. Really has run well this year, a great 3-year-old and a really stellar crop of 3-year-olds, but looks like he will be back next year, and that's all we could hope for.
Yeah, and from the DeSomo, Kent DeSomo rides it, and his brother trains it, so buddies of ours, Kent, long-time winter rider here down in South Florida, been out in California recently, so good luck to the connections of Texas Red. We're expecting to see a horse when he's a 4-year-old, and now we'll get into the Friday card. We mentioned all the carryovers we have this afternoon, so it's going to be a fun day of racing. We're going to start on the turf, and as we mentioned, turf course is listed as good. As I was coming on the air, saw him out there rolling the turf course, trying to get it in good shape. I mean, this turf course is amazing. It can have a lot of rain on it one, and the next day it plays pretty good. You'll see there won't be too many clods coming up. With that said, scratch the 2, the 7, and the 9. The 2 was my top pick. The jockey on the number 3 is Matthew Rispoli, and you started it off. I know this was your top pick, was my second choice, and that's the 4 Street Ridge. Let's go back and show you a performance before we get to that horse of Hudson Miracle, another horse that I have on my ticket, and you do too.
And I wanted to show this race because he really warrants consideration on the ticket and had a lot of trouble last time out. Completely gets squeezed back at the start. That is quite a pile up there. The horse really runs into a lot of trouble. He ends up running 3 wide virtually throughout the entirety of this race, but he had been running well in his previous few starts. Marcus Vitale, we're happy to have him back in South Florida, and I think with him coming back in and with this horse, on paper, a lackluster performance last time out, take another look at him because he really had trouble.
Yeah, he really had trouble, and you're right about that. Talked to Marcus yesterday. He's good to be back. He's got a bunch of horses in on Saturday and Sunday, so he's back here full steam ahead. Now we'll get to the horse that Katie originally had on top. I had with the horse that scratched scratch the 2 East Rock, and that's number 4, Street Rage.
Well, you always have to watch the combination of Mike Picho and Frank Calabrese, especially on the drop down, and this one's coming out of the $16,000 claiming ranks, and he was bested by just a half length that day at that level. He won his previous start by more than 3.5 lengths against $10,000 claimers. I think he's perfectly spotted today. I did have East Rock on my ticket, but I've had Street Rage on top from the get-go.
Yeah, now, besides Hudson Miracle, we just talked about that we both had on a ticket, I think Liz landing in a competitive spot. Number 1, and Saintly, is the horse I added with the scratch of the number 2 horse in there, and this one is stepping up to the next level after rallying. It was a pretty nice rally from like 8th to get up and win its last race, albeit it was against $12,500 2 lifetime claimers. Larry Bates is the trainer. Diego Gomez, really good rider on the turf, and I think this horse, I don't know what price he'll be today with the scratch, the big scratch in there of East Rock, 15-1 in the morning line. I think you get a little bit of a price on that horse. I don't think it'll be 15-1. You went with the number 5 in third.
He's returning to a much more appropriate level today. That's Simmer Pole. Was ambitiously placed in a $25,000 optional claimer last time out for Douglas Saylor, but he won at this level 2 starts back.
Well, we'll see how that first race plays out, and very interesting. Now we got all these carryovers. These are the races you want to check, see how the turf course is playing this afternoon, if it's favoring speed or closes and everything. Hard to get a gauge on one race, but you can start watching both the turf race and the main track, and that's the one we're going to talk about now. Race number 2 is 1 mile claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, or straight 3-year-olds. Scratch the 5 in here, Bull-Headed Lady, and Katie and I both have the number 3, Climate Change, on top of my ticket. Tell us why.
Wow. This filly is just having a sensational year. She's just great at this level, well spotted by trainer Stanley Gold. She is looking for her 5th win in a row today, has not lost since trying to grass back in December during the championship meet. Trainer Stanley Gold, largely in part due to this filly as well as another horse he has handpicked, 46% in the past year with horses coming off a win in claiming races.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. The only thing unknown is how this horse will handle the 1 mile distance, but certainly looks like the one to beat for all the reasons Katie mentioned. We both have the 4. We're actually in total agreement here. The 4, Starship Lisa, 6 for 8 in the money at a mile, so a different case than Climate Change. 8 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds in the third. Expected to show more today after returning from that couple of month layoff to finish a rallying third. That was on the wet track. It was sealed that day, so it had some moisture in it. There's some moisture in this track today. A proven commodity at the distance, as we mentioned. Steve DeMauro has Juan Laver in the saddle, and then we both closed it out with the number 7 in here, and that is Elnath.
Not going to get the price that you got on this horse last time out. She was second at this level and distance at a really fantastic price last time out for Rodolfo Garcia. She, too, has proven to be quite consistent at this level.
Yeah, and here I go playing devil's advocate. She hasn't won since February, but I think we got the logical 3 up there, just making some statements in there. But Climate Change, boy, be hard to leave that one off your first part of your pick 4 ticket. Race 3 today, 7 furlongs. These are maiden claimers, 2-year-olds. They're going to run for $50,000. We have one jockey change in here on the number 1 horse, Make the Rider, Sonny Leone. And we want to go back and show you the performance of the horse both Katie and I have on top of our ticket, and that's Eric's Talisman from the Ralph Nix barn.
Drop into the maiden claiming ranks today. This is in the horse's career debut in a maiden special weight, which I thought was an okay performance. Gets very wide in this race, makes a 4-wide bid, and stays on for second. This was his career debut. Gets a much easier spot today for his second career start, so should be a bit more mature and experienced as well. Trainer Ralph Nix, 43%. Dropping from the maiden special weight to the maiden claiming ranks with his 2-year-old.
Yeah, so that's a good stat there. If you look at his overall stat, it's 17%, but when you look closer, you see that he does really good with 2-year-olds dropping from that level. Number 2, Golden Pirate, who we both have in second, is stretching out an additional furlong today after responding last time to a drop in competition with a second-place finish against this same caliber competition. That was going 3/4 of a mile. Juan Rodriguez, the trainer, and he teams with jockey Miguel Vasquez. Looks like a logical choice behind the number 3, Eric's Talisman. And it's, boy, getting back to Ralph Nix just for a second. I think he took the lead yesterday. He might be up 1 on Antonio Sano, and he's made unbelievably great, ideas, spots with his 2-year-old races. So looks like the one to beat, Golden Pirate in second. Who'd you use in third?
I used Anderson's AP, but I want to quickly note on Golden Pirate, he finished second to Tribal Drama, who would come back to win the Affirmed Stakes here in August. He seems to just have a case of second-itis, regardless of the company.
Well, Tribal Drama was very impressive winning that race. That was only its second start, so Tribal Drama looks like he's got a really, good future ahead of him. So off that, at least it looked like the last, those two, and now you went back to use the 5 in third.
Anderson's AP, son of Montbrook, going to make his career debut for trainer Dan Pita. I like that he lures the services of Edgar Zayas today in some pretty solid works, but you threw in the one Magic Sparkle.
Yeah, he's stretching out today after chasing the pace, finishing, I thought, an even fourth against $50,000. That was his career debut at 3/4 of a mile. He's the son of street sense, and I think he's bred to handle the added real estate today of that 7 furlong distance. So a pretty nice race for race number 3 today. Every time we have those 2-year-olds there, they're fun to watch. And we'll go to race number 4, and we'll go back to that good turf course. This one's 7.5 furlongs. Claim is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000. Jockeying on the 9 is Jose Alvarez. Scratch the main track only. Number 10, Duchess of Wicklow. There's an unpublished work on Giselle Maibel in 39 at the Williston Training Center, but Pete Aiello, our track announcer, will tell you more about that when I come back before that race. So there is an unpublished work on the number 5 horse in that race. Katie and I, bing, bong, boom. We're in total agreement here. We got the number 7, Dream Come True, on top.
And we're going to go back to trainer Ralph Nix. This one finished second to a 60-1 shot last time out as the favorite. She still responded, though, that day to a class drop from the $25,000 optional claimer that she ran in before that. She just really has the class edge amongst this group. She's running 4 stakes, and she actually made the super in all of them, hasn't disgraced herself. I don't think she'll be denied today.
Yesterday when the track had some moisture in it, we were dealing with a sloppy track, was actually upgraded to muddy for a couple of races come down. It looked like, and also on Sunday, when we have some moisture in the ground, it was really favoring horses that like to run, from off the pace down the center of the track. We'll see how that plays out. With that said, Katie and I both have a speed horse in second, and that is Starship Gamble, stepping up, turning back, led every step of the way last time out to defeat $8,000 condition claimers going a mile and the 16th. It's David Ford. Octavio Vergara Jr. This one looks on paper to be the logical pace setter, and I think this is a key race to watch. Your next race starts the Rainbow Six. See how this horse fares on the front end.
Absolutely a great point, because she is going to be your pace setter, going to have to catch her to beat her, and with 3 carryovers today, all you can do with these races is practice, practice, practice.
Yeah, and we both used the number 9, Starship Shorty. Should sit really a productive trip behind the speed we've been talking about, rallying 5 wide to finish 4th behind Dream Come True. That was a mile last time out. So these are horses, if you maybe can't win or you don't think they can win, certainly can be on your exact or trifecta ticket. As we mentioned, the Rainbow Six starts in race number 5. Almost $26,000 already in the pool, and race number 5 is a 6 furlong sprint. Main and claim is fillies, 2-year-olds, $12,500, 8 runners in the field, and Katie and I, 1, 2, 3. Again, were you copying my stuff?
Do take a look at my emails.
Number 7, Dreaming of Sue, on top.
If you're dreaming of the Rainbow Six, I think you should be dreaming of Sue today. Michael Petro, again, dropping this daughter of Wildcat Air, finished 3rd against $25,000 maiden claimers on August 20th. She's been getting into duels and weakening late, so again, here's another one going to be on the front end that you should watch with how the track is playing. But this race really seems to lack a strong speed presence. I don't think she'll be pressured as much, and she's dangerous if left alone.
Yeah, and on the drop, the horse's best friend, they say, is the drop, so in a logical spot there. Number 4, Bookkeeper Marie, is the daughter of AP Warrior, debuting for trainer Chris Gaddis, who is it's a limited sampling, but he's 3 for 7. That's 43% with the debut maiden claimers. You got Hall of Fame jock Edgar Prado in the saddle this afternoon. I thought a logical choice to be somewhere on the ticket.
Yeah, and Edgar Prado is going to be riding this one for the debut. He and Christos Scott is going to be teaming up for just the 2nd time at this meet.
And what about the number 5 in here, King of Jack, a daughter of Corinthian.
Another first-time starter, this one for trainer Victor Barboza Jr. Again, Edgard Zayas going to be aboard. No listed works here at Gulfstream that I noticed, but seems to be doing all right, and I like the pedigree.
Yeah, he's coming right off the farm with the works off the farm, so we'll see how they run. This barn has done this in the past before, coming off the farm and having horses run well here, but without a local work showing. And do you single? Dreaming of Sue?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither. I couldn't do it. I wanted to, but I couldn't because I wanted to use more horses as it goes on. The sixth race today, as we mentioned, we got a carryover in the pick 5 today. I'm guarantee it's going to be well over $100,000 in that pool. Every time we have a carryover, it just skyrockets. I'm guessing on how much, but there will be a lot of money bet into this, and that means it could pay an awful lot. And this one is a 7.5 furlongs on the grass, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 6, scratch the number 10, Hot Flash. Once again, we're almost in total agreement here. We got the 5, Kitten Star. This is a daughter of Kitten's Joy, dropping to this $12,500 level, turning back to 7.5 furlongs. Returned last time from a 5-month layoff to finish, I thought, a useful 9th. It was against $50,000 maidens going a mile in the 16th. Trainer Gustavo Delgado. Edgard Zayas in the saddle this afternoon. If you have the chance, we both have our top 2 selection. I think you got to go a little deep in here. We both have the 1 D's Causeway in second, but 5 Kitten's Joy, the one we have on top, Kitten Star, I should say. This horse could win or not run well at all.
Absolutely, but you gotta look at a daughter of Kitten's Joy on the grass here at Gulfstream, and with the drop down, Gustavo Delgado, 30% this year when dropping horses' tags by more than half.
So there's a good stat there for you. And the other one, the horse, as I said, we have in second, D's Causeway, 7 for 11 in the money on the local turf course here. Obviously, without that victory, 11 starts, 5 seconds, 2/3, returning to the grass after breaking from a really the tough inside post, rallying to finish 4th, and a race move from the turf to 7 furlongs on the sloppy main track. Tough to break from the inside post position, especially when you're thinking you're going to be running on the grass around 2 turns. You break from the inside. It was a sealed, sloppy track that day. I think this horse has a chance to improve this afternoon.
Absolutely. I'm expecting an improved performance for sure. She historically hasn't run all that well on a wet surface. She always seems to show up on the grass, but can she finally get it done and start 16 is the question.
Well, what'd you like about the 8 Bella Dixie?
Well, this is one that I think has improved already since dropping to this level from the $20,000 maiden claiming ranks. I think she can definitely get a piece of this. She did last time out in the slop, so we'll see if she transfers that back over to the grass.
Well, number 9, Annabella Hall, was sort of a wise guy pick. I thought maybe if this race came off the turf, if we're having rain, and we certainly do not have any rain around us right now, so I just threw that horse in. But I'm sort of thinking the 1 and 5 might be the way to go in that particular race. But I would not single in there. That's a tough race. Race number 7, 1 mile allowance, optional claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. The claimant level that they run at is $16,000. A jockey change on the 1. The rider is now Luca Panici, and we want to go back and show you a very nice performance from a horse from the Todd Pletcher barn who shipped in from Monmouth, and we're going to go back to Monmouth and see this last race.
Yeah, this one, no trouble for Kinsley this day. This is when she broke her maiden, draws off by 10 lengths. This is when she returns to the dirt and makes her second start back from a 9-month layoff. Trainer Todd Pletcher, 35% with recent maiden winners in optional claimers on dirt this year. His assistant Anthony, who runs the string over at Monmouth, he is back here in Florida now for the winter. They're over at Palm Beach Downs. This is their first runner back, and I think it's very, very live.
Yeah, it's a $300,000 daughter of Pulpit, so a nice performance there. Is that your single?
If I am to single, which I don't think I will today,
right,
this would be it, but I think I might want to go too deep here.
Yeah, I used the 1 Curlin's Princess in there, stretching out to a mile for the first time. After showing speed and weakening late, that was a pair of sprints against this level of competition. Marty Wolfson, excellent with these fillies and mares, 30% with horses stretching out to a route after a pair of sprint races. So 2 sprints to a route. Marty Wilson is 30%. Luca Panici handling that inside post this afternoon. Marty Wilson, I always got to give him a second look when he's running with fillies and mares in the race. Put that one in second. The horse I have in third, you do have in second, and that's Garden Princess.
Another Ralph Nix runner today. He could have a nice day again. This is a Distorted Humor filly. Going to debut for this barn. She broke her maiden here very impressively in March, but she's kind of struggled in allowance company since at Belmont in her last 2 starts. But 3 starts back, she was 4th to multiple Grade 1 winner Carolina. Nix, he's won a lot of races with Whisper Hill Farm at this meet, but he's surprisingly 0 for 5 when debuting the new Whisper Hill Farm runners after a trainer switch. I would look for this one really next time.
Yeah, next time. And the 2 performances, one on the turf and one on the dirt at Belmont, were not pretty. As far as I'm concerned, the horse we mentioned, who else did you use? You used the number 6 in third. Oh, Stanley Gold, Tar and Feather. This horse, I've been picking this horse forever.
I love this filly. She's going to return to the dirt, stretch out to a mile for just the 2nd time in her career. Not sure how she's going to handle that stretch back, but she certainly has a great pedigree, and on her day, she can beat this group.
Well, let's go to the 8th race today. We've got 5 furlongs on the turf, claimers 3 and up, non-winners of 3 in life or 3-year-olds. We have a full field of 9 runners, no scratches or jockey changes. I went with the 2 All About Diva, is dropping to this $8,000 level. First start since winning 1 of 3 turf sprints versus better before the 2-month freshening. Dave Brady, Edgar Zayas atop the gelded son of Lion Tamer.
I like this one. Didn't really show a lot of speed last time out, which was uncharacteristic. I think you'll see him back up on the lead today.
Well, you used the number 8 Atheon, who we have in second. We have our Exacta flip-flopped here. This one stepping up to the next level.
He is another front runner, though. We're going to have to see how the track is playing and how much company he has up there today.
And we both use Aquapalito in third. Let's go to race number 9 today. 1 mile maiden special weight fillies, 2-year-olds. This is a really nice race. We're going to have 8 runners going to the post. Want to go back and show you the performance of the 2 horse today. That was the 7 that day, and that is Chief Attraction.
Yeah, Chief Attraction. I liked this run first time out. This was her career debut. Makes a late bid 4 wide. Finishes 4th. I think this is a solid effort that she can really build on, and I like the way she's been working. Bill Kaplan, 2 in here. Top call rider Juan Leyva's on this one.
Yeah, Chief Attraction on top of my ticket, too. I used the 8 in second, and that's Will Be Magical. Nice performance there, as you see. Will Be Magical, another from trainer Bill Kaplan. It's a daughter of Will Byrne, and he'll try a mile on the dirt after rallying to finish 3rd in a 5-furlong career debut on the turf. Eddie Castro gets the riding assignment. Juan Leyva, as you mentioned, sticks with Chief Attraction. Who else did you use?
Proud Lady going to debut for Phil Combest today. 2nd or 3rd in each of her 3 starts in both maiden special weight and maiden claiming competition.
I just wanted to mention real quick the 3 Platinum Bandits, a half-sister to Grade 3 winner, JP Gulfstream Park Sprint winner, CZ stretching out to a mile. Just thought this horse ran well with some moisture in the track, a horse you might want to throw somewhere on your exactor or trifecta ticket. We mentioned the carryover in the Super High 5 in race 10, 1 mile on the turf. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 in life, $8,000. Jockey on the 6, Pedro Monterrey, scratched the 10, Planar. Katie and I talked about this before we came on the air. We lost our top pick with the 10, Planar. Who'd you go to?
Well, the race is wide open now. I would go deep here with the scratch of Planar. I went with Buff Jet, only beaten a half length last time out for trainer Larry Bates.
Yeah, we both have the 4 Zamarata in second, stretching out to a mile. Perfect stalking style needed to capitalize. If you look at this horse on paper, it appears to be a solid early pace scenario in here. Antonio Sano, Edgar Zayas, top connections. This horse would sit a nice trip in there. I closed it out with my long shot of the day, and that's Boston Garden. Dropping to the $8,000 level. Changed running tactics last time out. Went on the lead, was game as can be. Third just got beat a length and a half. I think if you can get a price, you got to put this horse on your Super High 5 ticket.
Definitely a long shot today.
Yeah. Anything else before we head out of here?
Just a great day. I'm thinking if the sun stays like this, we might be getting a fast main track here soon.
Yeah, things dry out really quickly here in South Florida, so pay attention, enjoy all the fun today, and those carryovers are going to be lots of fun, so we'll see you in just a little bit.